Welcome everyone to this matchup between Hikaru Nakamura and Vishy Anand. They clash once again on the top board of the battle between Ganges Grandmasters and American Gambits at the Tech Mahindra Global Chess League. They played against each other yesterday and it was a victory for Hikaru on time. The position was even, but Vishy couldn't handle his clock. But at that point, Vishy had the black pieces. Now he has the white pieces, and we'll see how things pan out. 20 minutes plus no increment. E4 played by Vishy, E5 by Hikaru, C5, sorry, Sicilian there. G6, he plays the same opening that he played against Magnus Carlsen. And Magnus had gone D4, but Vishy plays C3. D5 pushes the pawn. The bishop comes out. This has been played before by Hikaru. And now Vishy gives a check. The knight comes out to C6. And we are sure that Vishy is well prepared in this line. Castles here, and Hikaru brings his rook out to C8. Now the pawn is pushed forward. You take, pawn takes. Positionally, white is doing okay. Black is doing excellently because he's going to play E6 and his bishop is going to be outside the pawn chain. But the problem here is that black is lagging behind in development. And this is something to be careful about. Hikaru brings his bishop back, is looking here. This is all part of his prep. Rook e1 played, and now he plays his bishop to c2, attacking the queen. The queen pops out and he offers a queen trade, which is logical. Vishy takes it, and I think taking with the rook is better than the pawn. Yeah, he takes with the rook. And so black is still behind in development, but with the rooks traded, it's not as bad. Now rook e3 is a nice move by Vishy. He's threatening rook c3, taking the open file here. And so Hikaru brings his rook to c6. And now Vishy has rook a3, which is a very cool move. He brings his rook here, attacks the pawn with a tempo. Hikaru defends it with a6. But now he brings knight b3. And you can see how Vishy step by step bringing his bishop out. Rook here is putting pressure. E6 attacks the rook, but Vishy moves in with the knight. Now this is a pawn sacrifice. This gives white excellent compensation, but Hikaru makes an error. He goes bishop d1, and this is a mistake because the knight is attacked. And now Vishy finds a beautiful move, knight e1, moving his knight out. The bishop is now a bit weirdly positioned. And this can become very seriously worse for Hikaru if he's not careful. Bishop e2 played. You can attack the rook here. Rook e3 is on the board. The bishop has to move again because it can get trapped. Bishop takes knight, and Vishy now takes back. Pawn takes, and the bishop has to move away from e2. But where exactly? Bishop c4. The point being that if you play here, I have d4 and I put my bishop on the square. So knight, he plays rook c3. Maybe knight f3 was a better move, preparing that b3 idea, but rook c3. And Hikaru now plays a5, making space for the bishop. The bishop is attacked. It has to move away. Goes back to a6. And now knight f3, knight d4. White seems to have at least a small edge here. It's going towards the knight, thinking here, and plays it. Knight f3, good move there by Anand. Knight comes to e7, and knight d4 is a good move. There's also bishop g5, but Vishy plays bishop d2, slightly passive move, but maybe with the idea of putting pressure on a5. Hikaru goes back to c8, wanting to put the knight on c6. Knight d4. The knight comes out to c6. Vishy takes it. And actually he's doing a good job for his team, because even if this position ends in a draw, his team should be able to win. a4 would be a very strong move now. He plays rook c1, attacking the pawn here. And Hikaru is now going to quickly get rid of the pawn with a4. And while Vishy does win the pawn, it's not going to be very consequential because the bishop here just stops these pawns and it's well defended. d4 pushed forward. Hikaru definitely would have wanted to win this game, considering the match situation where on the prodigy board his teammate Bear is losing, but it's not to be. Vishy is as solid as a rock here, just not giving any chances to Hikaru, trading pieces quickly. And this is one thing that Vishy of course excels in, because he's played chess at the highest level, is to know how to kind of kill a game. Like if it is equal, he knows how to make a draw quite easily without having to worry much here. King f8 plays a5, king goes to e8, Vishy brings his own king comes up and now bishop b4. He plays his rook back. Maybe Hikaru is trying to get his king into the game. He plays Vishy goes rook d1 perhaps here, d3, and king comes up to e3, king c6, pawn to a4, stopping the king from moving ahead, rook d8. Black maybe is somehow trying to press something, but I don't see how. Maybe there is king d5, king c4. He can try to come in this way. h4, bishop comes to c4, and Vishy brings his bishop back, offering a draw. Hikaru looks there and agrees to a draw. The point is, if you take here, it's not going to make any difference, just rook b1, and white is very solidly positioned, and so a draw was agreed here by both of them.